Good morning, everybody. Another episode of the Keep Going podcast, athletes shining a light on mental health. Super excited. Got handsome, big David Mitchell out there in Colorado. What's up, Dave?
Oh, what's up? I'm happy to be here again. I missed the last couple weeks, but I'm excited to be here, and we have a special guest here today.
Yeah, we got three baseball guys. Micah Oneal's in the building. Micah, this is a cool one for me, man. Being an NCSA guy, Harper Hawk, obviously going on and coaching now. This is why we do this podcast in a nutshell. Micah, why'd you want to come on today, brother? Welcome.
Thank you guys having me. I wanted to come on just to kind of share my path that I've taken so far in the baseball realm and just connect with you guys. And you guys offer just a lot of great stuff. I mean, you guys had probably my former teammates on and Nelson Gore, my previous coach at Harper. So I want to share my path as well. So.
Yeah, man, stay there. Obviously, we've had some guys that you know on this podcast. Obviously, Nelly G, my guy Nelson Gord, love that guy. Shout him out right off the riff. And then obviously, Batevez was showing love. My brother was showing a lot of love this week out there in Florida. Micah, in your baseball journey, man, I want you to start with young Micah. Like, how'd you get into the game? How'd you fall in love with it? Talk about baseball as a young kid.
Yeah, as a young kid, obviously I played Little League at Forest Park, Illinois. My brother played, he's 3 years older than me. Then my dad was always like my coach. So I just remember going to my brother's game and just playing catch with one of his teammates' younger brothers. And it's just special fun times. And then as I progressed, got a little older, got on my own team. My dad was still the coach. So I think just the love of the game just started to flourish from that moment on, and I just always stuck with it.
Yeah, man. What was that? I know me and D Mitch have the moments, right? Being baseball guys. When was that moment where you're like, darn, man, like I might be able to do this for a long time? Do you remember the moment?
Yeah, I do. I believe right around I was like 13 years old, someone told me that I used to hit the ball like really hard, like almost like a man, and it was like I was a kid. So I just think just hearing that like kind of gave me some insight that maybe I can do like be pretty good at the sport.
You remember who that player or coach was that said that?
I don't.
Yeah, man.
No.
Well, I'd love to, if you think about it, shout that out at some point. I think that's like that light bulb moment where you're like, damn, like people believe in me. I can do this. The ball is sounding louder off the bat than maybe some of your buddies. And you're like, darn, okay, here we go. All right, awesome. So you got that kind of light bulb moment. You go on, talk about your high school career, man, because you were a later sign, if I remember correctly.
Yep, yep, I was. Yeah, I went to Garden Prep, high school. I was the last graduating class there, close to 2020. My journey through high school was interesting. I was more of a late bloomer. And Garden Prep was not known for baseball at all. We
Correct.
struggled a couple times to even fill a team, but um, yeah. So I was just out there, almost just training, working on my game by myself. Practice was um, it was not like intense at all. It was more laid back. So high school, I kind of wish I went somewhere else to play to get more of a competitive side of it. But yeah, high school I enjoyed. Um, Played decently good competition, but nothing compared to the next level.
Yeah, stay there, man. Once again, as three under recruited guys here on the podcast today, that can be a mental warfare at times. When the high school situation isn't going well, when stuff is going on as a junior and senior high school, you got prom, you got grades, you got stuff going on in the community. How did you combat that, man? And go one more layer further. Being at a small school too, man, like how did that affect everything? So talk about the mental health side and then that small community aspect as well.
Yeah, mental health it affects me a little bit just coming out of high school because obviously we're a small Catholic school and no schools are really looking at those types of schools and stuff like that. And also my senior year of COVID, it struck, so balancing that. So really only played 3 years of high school ball, and that going into that senior year, it kind of put things in perspective. Like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna play college ball or yeah, it's me. Yeah, those 3 years of junior, when I was a junior, it kind of put things in perspective a little bit. At the mental health side, sure.
Yeah. Talk about the COVID times too. Like, what happened during that time? How did you get through it? I was obviously in college coaching during that time. Dave was still kicking along as a player. Micah, you were as well, man. Talk about what you did to get through the COVID times.
Yeah, for like the first month and a half from like March to early May, really nothing was going on baseball wise. I was just going outside, hitting off a tee into the net pretty much. I couldn't really go to a batting cage or anything like that. So, um, yeah, that mental battle it was definitely there because you don't know what's going to happen if you're playing sometime or what. So I ended up playing in Westchester for the Westchester Knights, their summer ball team. So that kind of kicked back where I was, getting used to stuff, and playing baseball, and then progressed me into college.
Yeah, and Dave, I'm putting the timelines together right now. Like you guys would have played against each other, I believe, if I'm doing the years correctly. When you were at Rock Valley, you would have played against Micah at Harper in that last year, I believe. I don't know if that's computing correctly, but Dave, talk about the COVID times for you, man. Obviously, you were with us, and it kind of hit like a brick, right?
Yeah, the COVID time was tough for sure. It was a tough transition for everyone. I was a sophomore at a junior college, Rock Valley College. He was my coach. We had our spring break trip down to Texas, I believe, and we kind of like heard the word about COVID like going around, and we were unsure about what was going to happen, and then it just completely shut down our whole season. But for myself, I was very grateful to have a hot start kind of statistically for because I wasn't being heavily recruited, but I had a good start to the season to look at some other colleges and get some opportunities there. But it was a tough transition for sure.
No doubt. And not everybody was that lucky. There's a lot of kids on that Rock Valley team. And I know, knowing Nelson and my brother, like there's a lot of kids on the Harper team that didn't go on and play due to those circumstances. Some guys like yourself and, George and Nick and all those guys that we've had on and we've talked to, right? They've gotten through it. They've gotten through it with adversity, resilience, and just perseverance. Micah, your story didn't end after Harper. But I do want to sit at Harper for a little bit, man. Shout out Nelson, Adam, the whole staff. What'd you love about being a Harper Hawk? What'd you love about being a JUCO guy, man?
Yeah, I love JUCO. Those great 3 years I spent there. Coach Gord and Coach O'Malley, your brother, is really two great individuals that I feel like I needed to have at that moment in time in my baseball career, and also growing up. Um, yeah, Gord and O'Malley, they're very calm individuals where they let you train and get used to stuff and try to grow into your body a little bit. Um, a lot of it was just laid back a little bit in terms of training and stuff. Those two really helped me out in terms of uh, getting my training and abilities and working through all those kinks that I had. So I really enjoyed it.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's fast forward, dude. You go on to the 4-year level. Talk about that. How'd your experience go after Harper? And then obviously being at the D3 level now, coaching. Talk about that transition as well.
Yeah, so I got recruited from the University of Dubuque, Division III in Dubuque, Iowa. Funny story, I was actually recruited from the previous coach that was here, and then he ended up leaving in that summer. I was going to come to Dubuque, and then they hired head coach Dan Spain and assistant coach Andrew Redmond at that same time. So um, it was interesting. I didn't really know anything about them, but I think it worked out for the better because those two men right there probably they're great individuals and great coaches and leaders. So, um, but yeah, Dubuque playing at Dubuque, I really enjoyed it as well. My 2 years playing, I really learned a lot hitting wise and just being an all around baseball player, which is another aspect of my training that I kind of needed because, like I said, I was a late bloomer. and I didn't really have that training aspect and understanding different philosophies and of trying to sport of baseball in general. Um, so yeah, Spain and Red, they really helped me out as well.
Yeah, so here's my tangent of the episode. So here it comes. If you're waiting around for things to get better, you're missing the boat. If you're keeping track at home right now with Micah, he's mentioned he was under recruited. No disrespect to Harper and the boys at that time, but that was a terrible program when you got there, right? A single digit win, low win team. Then COVID hits. Then your coach leaves at Dubuque, and now you're a college coach still in baseball today. I had to highlight these things because I think some of these high school kids, man, expect this, you know what, to be handed to them. Can you speak on that real quick? What did you do that separated yourself?
Yeah, I just took the initiative. I just did all. I just kept working, put my head down, keep grinding, keep working. Um, yeah, I just wanted to be the best player I could be at the end of the day. I mean, through all the adversity that you just spoke about, um, I just want to keep my head down, just train and go hard, and try to be the best player out of my God-given abilities.
Yeah, you mentioned your faith, man. Talk about things that you do on the daily that could help a normal student athlete that might be struggling, right? If it's family stuff on the field, maybe getting slept on, Micah. That's the big thing right now in 2026. A lot of guys getting slept on, blaming the portal, things like that. What words of wisdom, what words of advice would you give to that kid that was like you?
I would just say, just control your demeanor. If you're always a kid that, like you said, is always like antsy and stuff, just control your demeanor and everything happens for a reason. Um, and just trust the process. Honestly, I mean, like you said, a lot of things won't go your way, or you just have to battle back and try to find out a different avenue to go. So, um, yeah, controlling your demeanor is probably key for me.
I like that, man. It's a true testament of a good ball player. You're well spoken, man. This is probably our first time ever really connecting, and everybody's what they said about you, man, is the truth. Like you speak really well. You talk about others before yourself, which I think is very admirable here in 2026 when a lot of people are just talking about themselves all the time. I don't know, man. Has it always been that way? Like, what was your keep going moment in all this? What is someone that you got through that the normal person wouldn't have got through? Tell me your keep going moment.
I would just say my keep going moment was back in 2020, the COVID hit. I mean, just navigating high school and then senior year, and then if I wanted to play college baseball, or I knew I wanted to play college baseball, but I didn't know where I wanted to go. My parents, they're definitely had their big hand in that and try to keep me on the right track because they knew I wasn't a kid that would just sit still a lot, and I always needed to be doing something. So um, shout out to them too for just holding me down and just keeping the process going. So.
You know, Mike, I'll say this, man. I've been out of college baseball now since, yeah, around that time. I left baseball and went to NCSA during that time. I'm glad we got guys like yourself that are still in the game. Because I think it matters. You got kids out here listening today on a Sunday morning, probably being like, damn, like this is what it takes, one. But two, it's nice to hear somebody get to the other side of this and still make the impact that you're making. We need more coaches like you, brother. Without further ado, we'll go to D. Mitch's mailbag. David Mitchell, it's all you, brother.
Yes, sir. Um, Baseball is one of those hard sports mentally. Like when I was a player, I beat myself up mentally for going 0 for 3, 0 for 4. What would you tell your younger self in the middle of a tough season?
Um, I would just say just to find your reset, just go back to whatever that you did well, and whenever you're feeling your greatest at either your swing or whatever you're feeling, just try to find that and try to like duplicate that and work on that. Find that flow state, what they can say. Just try to hammer that as much as you can because failures are gonna happen. I mean, there's a game of failure for sure, but finding that flow state, I think, really bring you back on track.
Yeah, how does someone find that when like it seems so hard just to, play the game? How do you find that flow state? Do you sit back, reflect, think about your previous games, look into the future? What did you do?
Yeah, I'd say just I look back on my better at bats or better moments and try to vision and visualize and um, try to visualize that success that I had and try to bring that into the next situation that you may be.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I
yeah,
think that's really important to focus on the good at bats that you did have, not always focus on the negative, not always thinking about, oh, I need to get a hit. That's that's important. Um, you're coaching right now from my perspective, right?
yeah.
What was the hardest part of losing the player identity that most people don't talk about?
I would just say just being around the guys the whole time, um, like those bus rides and being around the flow of practice. Just this could probably be the maybe the hardest part. Uh, Switching from player to a coach. Not really like the grind. The grind I miss too. Don't get me wrong, but it's more of the just being around the fellas the whole time and hitting and being in individual hitting groups all day is probably the part I'll miss most. But yeah,
Is there anything that you picked up recently to make that transition a little bit better for yourself?
um, yeah, I think I just started to be more of a player's coach. Does that make sense? Just connecting with the
Oh,
players
that makes
more.
sense, Micah. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense, brother. I've been one.
yeah, yeah. Just trying to connect with the players more, and what they need and everything like that, and also being a coach as well. But trying to be like that middleman from head coach to players, so they can feel that such a connection.
It's
Yeah.
important.
It's super important. Like just having someone that you can trust and go to and just talk about really anything. That relationship's so big in a successful team. Um, my last question is if someone is struggling with their mental health and maybe they don't want to talk about it very much. They kind of just want to suck it inside, which I did for a long time. And I think it's hard to talk about it. What would you want them to hear from you that's gone through this process?
I would just tell them that the grass is greener on the other side, and the sun's going to come up the same way it did, same day. Um, just speak out on whatever you're feeling. Someone's been through your situation and probably dealt with it worse, and they know from first-hand experience that it's going to be okay. You're going to get through that.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. Is there anything else that we may have missed that you want to talk about to our listeners today?
Um, no, not really. You guys kind of hammered everything. Honestly, all your questions.
We tried to, man. And I'm gonna do something for you because I've had this happen where we get back, a couple days later and you're like, hey, I wanted to say this, I wanted to say that. I want you to shout out everybody in your life that you haven't shouted out yet and just show some love real quick. You got 30 seconds, show as much love as you can.
Okay. I'm gonna shout out my brother Micah. Um, Shout out my other brother Anthony. Shout out JD Schaefer, other GA baseball here at UD. Um, Shout out all the players on the team right now at UD. Um, yeah, my aunts and uncles, I mean, all my cousins, I mean, they had a great part in my journey as well. Shout out my grandmother, both grandparents I have. Um, yeah, that's kind of everybody. Those are all people in my life that near dear to my heart. So
I love it, man. I love it. Well, hey, I'll tell you, man, in your 20 so years on earth so far, man, you've made a lot of impact, but there's a lot of impact to go. And as we move forward today in the game of baseball, in the game of life, keep people like Micah, keep people like D Mitch in your corner. It means a lot. It carries a lot of weight. And I'm blessed to have the opportunity to talk to you today, man. You lived up to the hype. You jumped the bar that I have for this episode. I told the group chat, I don't do this much. I told the group chat this week, I'm like, this guy's gonna come on and he's gonna have a testimony. And we definitely had one this morning, man. So Micah, I appreciate you, brother. I'm gonna let you jump before I hit this ad read, but I love you, brother. Keep going, and if I could ever help you in any way, shape, or form in the baseball world or in life, you got my number, man. We'll talk.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Micah, you as well, bro. We'll talk soon. I'll let you hop. All right,
All right, you guys take care.
brother.
Thank you.
See you.
D, that was good stuff, baby. That was good stuff. I gotta hit this ad read though, coming up here at the August event. If you haven't heard already, August 8th, we are running our first Keep Going podcast event. People have been asking, Dave, if you're flying in for the event. Is that something that you're still doing?
I will be there. Absolutely.
Who is your team, Dave? Are you playing with me? Who are you playing with?
I don't know yet. I got to keep my options open for right now. Doing some recruiting, but we'll
I love
see.
that.
We'll find a team.
I love that. Circle the wagons, rally the troops. August 8th, 9 a.m. at Kelly Myers Park out here in Roscoe, Illinois. It's a Rockford suburb, about an hour from the suburbs of Chicago. We'll have 50 teams out here. We'll have 6 to 8 games going at once. Be very fun. Beer tent. We'll have a nice nature trail around. There's a kids park. It's a beautiful venue for community. So please come out August 8th, 9 a.m. First Keep Going event. Dave, love you, brother. Anything to take us home today, dude.
No, man, I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be back on the podcast and talking about mental health. I think it's really important to reach out to other people and do something for your mental health today. Go on a walk. Take some time for yourself. Um, enjoy it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I know we probably all saw this already, but Terrence Gore passed yesterday. 33 years old, a guy that we grew up watching in the World Series, and just the guy was 33 years old. You know, if you're not doing some of this stuff now, it might pass you by. Um, just a reminder, you only get one of these. Dave, I love you. Jackie, I love you too. You're out there going to see a friend today. And above all else, keep going, brother.
Keep going.
Yes, sir.